All right, this is One Last Midnight. Welcome back to another episode of Astroneer. And it's been a long time, but it's time to check in on the Billionaire Byte Boys. And right now, they're currently almost at 600 million bytes, which is pretty dang impressive. So a lot of you guys have been asking, how was this put together? Where did it start? This is the completed version of a file called the plot save on the shared folder that you guys can download and play with and mess around with. But I'm going to bring in Kilmowski and Ron, and we're going to talk about the origins of this plot save, and then also maybe take a peek at other people's farms that they've built up. They've really built up. I think right now they're at 40,000 bytes per minute, and we've seen it as high as 60,000 bytes per minute when everybody's on and active at their farm. All right, I'm here with Ron and Kilmowski, two of the guys that are working on the Billionaire Bytes objective, and I flipped over to the plot save, and I just kind of want people to understand and see what exactly they started with. And so, Ron and Kil, you guys want to take over and tell me a little bit about this save and how you guys set it all up and what its main purpose is?
I'll let Ron explain because Ron was the major builder of this.
Very good, Kil. So the plot save started out as a way of trying to pre-configure a save that Astroneers could come into and play the game in a community type setting. So what we did was we went into creative mode. We unlocked everything that was available in the catalog at that time. And then using the tools in creative, we created the plots. So we created the fences, the main road, we colored things, we set up the signs, we set up objects for people to be able to write their name on their sign.
Now, some of these plots have stuff on them, though. So what does everybody get on a plot? Because I want people to understand that, you guys did unlock all of the research. So this is not without... except for the new things, and you can see that this save is really old because as I'm going through the research catalog, we're coming up with things that have been introduced after this save was generated, and there's a little bit of excess bytes, maybe 100,000 bytes sitting there. So it seems like though that everybody has a starting kit. Is that true?
That is true. So each plot was equipped with a platform, a beacon, a field shelter, and a printer. And each Astroneer that comes in and claims a plot, that's their kit to get started. Any resources and anything else that they need, they will have to go out and find on their own, build up enough things to get off the planet to go to other planets to get additional resources, just like you would with a regular single-player game.
Right. And to make it perfectly clear, if I was to grab one of these, it's my responsibility to get the resources to build everything that's going to be in my plot. There's no area in which there's some shared resources that I can gather from. This is my field, and if my field doesn't happen to have everything, I'm going outside of my field, outside of the plots, to go find any kind of resources that I might possibly need.
Right. If resin is at the border and you want to take what's on your side of the fence, that's fine, but you're not allowed to go across to the other player.
Okay, perfect. So let's go back over to the server, since everybody has kind of seen where the starting point is, and look at where you guys are at today. Yeah, so we're back at the server, and so this is what they have been working on. They started with, well, what I just got done showing you, which was, that bare bones kind of save, and then this is Kil's base, and this is what Kil has set up. And so, just so I understand, all of this stuff, or some of this stuff, was built with resources that you had to go and find. But to what extent have you been having to gather resources? Is there some point in which you stopped gathering resources?
Yes, fairly early on. I went to Calidor, got Wolfamite, and brought that back, set up an automated scrapping line, and did floodlights. And once you get scrap, then you can get pretty much anything you want from the trade platform, except gases, of course.
Gotcha. So you started off as soon as you got to Calidor, you made yourself a scrap to some sort of probably extenders or something like that to scrap conversion. Now, I think Ron, you were saying though that most people now have been using the Astronium that's coming out of the farms, though, right?
Right. So once we started farming, we noted that we were seeing quite a bit of Astronium being produced. Since Astronium can be traded, right, we decided to use that. I think most people are using that to now trade to either get what they need, such as hydrazine, right? We
Start
use
with every
quite a
now
bit
and
of
then.
that. Or what I've been doing is trading to get jump jets, which I scrap to make, which I shred to make scrap. And then I use the scrap to get any of the resources that I need through the trade platform.
And then, Kill, did you eventually move over to Astronium, or did you just continue to keep with Wolframite and doing the Wolframite thing?
I stopped getting wolframite over almost 2 weeks ago now, and use nothing but Astronium.
So I showed it in the beginning of this, but you could see where they're currently at right now. We're looking at almost 600 million bytes, and the rate changes based off of who is online and standing in front of the farm. If you guys have ever done farming, you know that as soon as you move away from your farm, it'll to a certain point it'll no longer start producing, and so you have to kind of be there watching your farm in order for this whole process to work, and that's the reason why that the byte rate goes up and down so dramatically. What is your projected time? Hole did put out an updated chart, and I'm showing it on the screen now, but what is your projected time for completion for this?
At our current rate of progress, the graph's projecting that we would finish up around the 18th. We're hoping to do that the week preceding that. So around the 14th or the 15th, we're hoping to hit the 1 billion.
All right, so this whole project has been really neat to see you guys work with this. If you guys look at you, so you started. When was the actual start date? Because I'm looking at the chart again, and if I go off of the chart, it was 9/16 when you guys actually started. Is that true?
Yes, it is. I think that's when the save was originally put up. Kilmowski was the first one to join in and grab a plot and start working. I think I came in the next day, and then over the next few weeks, the other players came in.
On the 17th. Okay. So for you guys looking at this chart right now, you can see that there's a period of time in which there was almost zero byte activity. And then around about the 21st is when they started seeing an excess of bytes. And at that point, it says 25 there. So that's 25,000 bytes.
Right.
And then you could see that it's been incrementally going up. And then the rate in which it's been climbing is pretty steep. I'm impressed. I'm just kind of flying around. I mean, these farms have gotten huge since the last time that I've looked at them. They've grown and expanded out. Yeah, so you could see I'm going up to the top of this thing. Hole has really been, if you guys don't remember, and I'll have to look it up for you, but if I remember correctly, Holes was just, the last time I saw it was just this portion and out here this way, and that's what was running this whole farm. He has since expanded this farm out. I don't even know what this orange pillar of storage is all about, but it looks like that's exactly what it is. And you can see that he's expanded out. Cole is doing a different concept than what everybody else is doing. He is actually logging in, standing next to his farm, and letting it run for a series of hours, and it's collecting the research samples. And then he's leaving the game and letting those storages where he collected the research samples then turn around and process. And you can see over here, here's this processing area. So it just winds up processing it overnight or while he's gone. And other people do it real time, that they're just standing next to their farm and they're trying to process it as much and as fast as humanly possible. I don't know. I think we've had a little bit of a talk on this, Ron. You don't feel that the storage system is the most efficient system I think that was the correct statement, right?
Right. The storage system works fine if you have limited time to spend on the server, because what it allows you to do is spend your time actual farming, growing the resources and storing them. And then what you can do is start the processing and leave the server, because you don't need to be present for the processing part. But if you can do both at the same time, over the course of however many days, right, you'll have more output, because as you're growing it, you're also processing it. In the former case, right, when you're processing, there's no growing taking place. So, but it works for those players who don't have, who actually have a life and have other things they need to do.
Yeah, I'm flabbergasted by this. This is a lot of storage. He must be producing so many samples that it just justifies having, this amount of storage laying around. And man, that's a lot of nanocarbon he had to create. All right, well, cool. All right, well, thank you guys. Thank you for giving me an update. I think the next update's probably just going to be when you guys hit 1 billion. I mean, you're at 600 million now. You said somewhere around the 16th, though, so maybe we'll do another update halfway through that. I was thinking about 750 million, but you guys are climbing to that so quickly that maybe we bump that up to like 800 million or something, and then the final push will get everybody together, and we'll talk about what it was like to do this challenge, and what your thoughts on it, and would you ever do it again, and that type of thing. All right, Rod and Kill, thanks for being here. And yeah, and so, this is it. That is it. Thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already, hit that like button. If you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Would love to have you in the community. If you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below, and make sure to hit that notification bell. That way you know when I go live and when I post new videos. I'll talk to you soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.